What's going on, guys? It's Critical Fish, and today Steam and Valve just dropped a bombshell announcement with 3 brand new hardware reveals. We've got the brand new Steam machine, we've got the brand new Steam controller, and the Steam Frame VR. As you can see, they all share the same aesthetic of the Steam Deck, which has been a massive success over the past couple years and has become a mainstay handheld in the video game space. All of these products are launching in early 2026. So I'm going to go over each and every single one, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on the overall situation. If you can't tell though, I'm pretty excited right off the bat. So the first thing to look at here is the Steam controller. This is a brand new controller that Steam is doing, and it looks like it's got all your normal buttons, all your normal functions, but if you go a little bit deeper, there's definitely some great perks to what it does. Obviously, this controller will connect to your own PC and anything with Steam OS installed on it, so you'll be able to use it for your Steam Deck, your PC, and this new Steam machine. Like you can see right here, you can play any game in your Steam library with the controller. Every controller that you purchase has an included puck that can sync and charge your controller seamlessly. So if you need to reconnect your controller or charge it on the fly, there's a pretty quick, simple solution for that. It's got magnetic thumbsticks, which I believe is different from both Xbox and PlayStation's controllers right now, and I'm sure that would add maybe a little bit more precise movement, is my guess. You've got high definition rumble, which, is a great feature. And there's also gyro, so if you want any features for gyro aiming in your games, that's an awesome touch. You can visibly see 2 trackpads on the controller as well that will act like, you're putting a mouse over your game, and that'll probably allow for some more precise movement or camera angles, or maybe just some extra touch and controls in your games. And it also has back buttons. I didn't even see that. That's very cool. It's got 2 back buttons on each side, and it looks like it's got 35 hours of battery life, which is crazy and blows out most of the other controllers in the market right now out of the water. So I'm a big fan of that one. Let's check out what you're going to mainly use it with, which is the Steam machine. So the Steam machine is a revamped version of the Steam machine from back in 2015. And this time around, it looks very sleek. It looks kind of like a black GameCube mixed with an Xbox Series X. And I kind of love it, honestly. As you can tell right off the bat, it's got a swappable faceplate on the front. There's an LED bar right underneath that. And then there's a control hub for USB ports, an SD card slot, and the power button. Now the Steam machine will play all of your Steam games in one place, just like it is on your PC, which is a very nice touch. It claims to be 6 times more powerful than the Steam Deck, which, to put into perspective, that's pretty fair. That's a pretty reasonable amount of power. And it also says that it can do 4K 60 FPS gaming. It's a very small, compact, cool, and quiet machine. And it looks like it's just going to be a very clean, optimized experience, even though it is a small PC. It looks like a console, but it is actually a PC. Because it is a PC, it'll be able to run a desktop mode, right? You'll still be able to download specific apps that you enjoy. You could download game development apps like Godot or Unreal Engine, no problem, and it'll run just like it would on a normal PC. And I'm also reading right here that it can do up to 4K, but at 120 hertz, which they only claimed 4K at 60 FPS, but up to 120 hertz is pretty big. And lastly, we've got the Steam Frame, which is their brand new VR headset. And this will be able to play VR and non-VR games. It will work independently from a PC, so you don't need to purchase a PC to use this thing, to walk around and play your games on it, which I think is very cool. It's got a wireless adapter, and it also has speakers, and it's got the same eye tracking system to optimize graphics inside of games, just like the PlayStation VR 2 does. It also features 2 brand new controllers, and they look pretty similar, but also look great. and they are again featuring magnetic thumbsticks and easy battery access. And this one also functions as a PC as well, so it will have its own desktop mode. Once you put the headset on, you'll be able to download your own apps and developer tools to make games as well, which is just crazy. So that is a recap of the 3 brand new hardware reveals from Steam today, and I want to give you my thoughts as a PlayStation fan and a Nintendo fan over the course of the past 10 years. I also want to give the context that I am not a Windows person either. I love using iPhones and the Mac setup. So what do I think of the Steam machine now that it's back in 2026? Well, I'm not gonna lie, my first impression is that I want one. Yep, I want one day one, and there's a couple reasons for that. So for me, I just think it's checking all the boxes. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's small, it's compact. My guess is that it'll cost around $500-600. The controller looks super comfortable. The fact that I would have access to Steam libraries now and I would be able to play games that I've never played before on a small, compact, brand new console-like experience is amazing. I can easily see this just sitting on my desk right here. And the other big thing for me is that because I haven't had access, easy access to the PC ecosystem using Windows before, getting into game development tools with this machine is something that I would want to do and has been something I've been trying to do for a long time and have struggled with on my Mac. I can easily see this being a perfect solution when it comes to entry-level game development for myself, but on a Windows experience. And as someone that is currently working on a couple of projects for that, I definitely think I'm going to use the Steam machine for that. Since I also have a PlayStation VR 2 down there, and that has a PC cord that can connect to PCs seamlessly, my hope is that the PSVR 2 will be able to easily connect to this and play any VR games that I don't have access to on my PlayStation 5. So that's kind of how the Steam machine would affect me, and I'm excited. Like, I'm just excited right off the bat. But unlike me, I think other companies are going to start scratching their necks a little bit. So let's talk about Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo briefly. So I think when it comes to Xbox, after this announcement today, they are completely cooked. You know, they are just completely irrelevant now that this is going to be an option moving into 2026. Xbox's campaigns in the recent times has just been about get off your console, go on your phone, go on your PC, and play video games not on a console. That has pretty much been their marketing for the past couple months to a year now. And here we see the dominant company in the PC market space come out and say, yeah, we have a console-like experience coming to your living rooms starting in early 2026. Buy it then. And it's like 5 slaps in the face at Xbox, especially when you factor in the fact that Xbox has no exclusive games anymore and that all of their releases will be available on Steam. So why would you want to own Xbox hardware in the first place anymore when you can just have Steam library available through the Steam machine or at your computer if you already have one? So that's how I think the timing of this announcement is very funny, especially with the context of how Xbox has kind of just revealed that they are completely like done catering towards the Xbox Series S and X markets. So how does this affect PlayStation? Well, I think that the PlayStation 5 is still going to be running strong, no doubt. It's extremely popular. They just announced that 85 million console sales have been made over the past 5 years. And, you know, they're still going to be producing exclusive games for the system. But going forward, I actually see the Steam machine as being direct competition with PlayStation, much more than Xbox is. So how will PlayStation respond to this? My guess is that starting in 2026, PlayStation is going to have an exclusive PlayStation launcher on PC, okay? They're already starting to show that they're willing to put their games on other platforms, and they're willing and trying to expand into the PC market, a little bit into Nintendo, a little bit into Xbox, and just kind of test the waters and make sure that they can stay afloat in this very competitive market. I think that this PC launcher for PlayStation will be a small niche competitor to Steam in a way, but it will prevent future PlayStation titles from releasing on Steam directly. And I think that that kind of ecosystem exclusivity of new games coming to a PlayStation launcher will actually bring more sales to the launcher and will still keep games technically in the PlayStation ecosystem. Now, the big question is, if they do that, will that launcher be available in the desktop mode on a Steam machine? And that I don't really have the answer for. My guess is no, because that seems like a pretty big oversight. My guess is that it would be blocked on the Steam machine, kind of like how they blocked it for the Xbox, like web surfing. So that's my guess there. That would kind of keep things separated. But I think that that is how it will affect PlayStation. And I also think that a lot of people are going to buy this thing, like a lot. Probably as much as like the Switch 2 initial launch sales. I think this thing will blow past 10 million sales within the first couple months of release. And if I'm being completely honest, I don't think this will affect Nintendo's strategy that much. Their first party games really just stay on the Nintendo systems. So yeah, it's mostly just a fight between PlayStation and Steam going forward. So yeah, as someone who is new to the PC space, I've never invested money into building a PC. I've been tempted by the builds, I've been tempted by the ecosystem, I've been tempted by the benefits. I've just never done it. But I think this is my chance to do it. I think the Steam machine is going to launch at $5.99. I think the controller is going to come with it, and maybe that'll affect the price in some way. But if it's in that sweet spot area of like $4.99, $5.99, $6.99, I'm definitely buying this thing. And my hope is that I can use it effectively, not to replace my current computer, but to have it to play games as well as develop my own projects on there in a desktop-like format. So yeah, I mean, this announcement came out of nowhere. It's a Wednesday, it's November 12th. Like, what's going on today that's super special? Not much, but I think the timing of it is great, and I think this is going to get people excited for new announcements from Steam going forward. It seems like they are taking things extremely seriously and want to even replace Xbox in the console market. So that's what I got from this reveal today. This is one of the biggest new exciting announcements in the console space. I say console space because it kind of feels like it, but just in the video game space in general. And I'm sold. So if you want to stay tuned to more Critical Fish, I'm going to be talking about all things gaming, industry news, industry analysis, and I'll even do unboxings here and there. So keep in touch with Critical Fish and have a great day.